Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers coming at you from the desk today with your daily hail forecast. Sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. And I've got them linked there for you in the description to this video, so go ahead and check them out. So today our producers are on a much needed break for the Labor Day weekend, but I'm coming at you again here. And we're going to let you guys know what's going on. There is a scattered risk for some severe hail and wind across the southwest into today, so we'll cover that, and then getting more into your Labor Day for later on this weekend, as well as the 6 to 10 day forecast into the middle of next week. We do have some folks that are going to see a pretty hot start to their September, so if you like the warm weather, if you're not wanting fall quite yet, then maybe that one's for you. But I personally am so ready for fall, so hoping that colder weather comes soon. But before we get into our weather, we are back at the OU versus Arkansas State tailgate. That's going to be the first one we're hosting this fall. So if you guys are football fans, specifically OU football fans, we do tailgates on campus for every home game. So this one is going to be at tent 112, and it's going to be right along Jenkins Avenue. So if you're around, just go for the stadium, and then you'll see a bunch of big white tents and walk through there until you see Hail Trace. We have cornhole, we have food, free beer, and we'll have the game on, of course, so you guys can come hang out with us. It'll be a good time. So that's the first one of many that we'll have this fall. Now today, nice and clear across the central and southern U.S. We do have a little bit of rain and some showers going on through Utah, through Arizona, parts of Nevada, California, and that's going to continue into today. Should get some scattered, more intense storms building up into this afternoon and evening, and so got some hail and wind threats coming out of that. But there's that little trough, I'll highlight it here for you in a second, but it's right here across the desert southwest. As that moves in, we could see some more disturbances across the southwest, as well as some cooler temperatures, but then you got this whole area under that high pressure ridge, and that's gonna make it nice and hot for the next foreseeable future for us in the Central Plains and the Southeast. So 81 in Kansas City, sitting in the 80s and 90s for a lot of the central U.S., and then hitting the mid-90s once you move down into like Houston, Miami, etc. So cooler for now than it will be in the upcoming days. Now down into the southwest where we have that disturbance going on, you're going to see those storms developing through the eastern part of Nevada, and with those we could get an initial hail threat. That's going to be some maybe quarters mixed in with mostly small hail, and then some high winds coming out of that as well. So as those track eastward through Vegas into the Cedar City area, and some scattered storms going through Tucson, Phoenix, Flagstaff, we'll continue to see that severe threat going on through the overnight and then into tomorrow morning. So very scattered on the severe end, but bottom line, you're going to get some rain, which is, I'm sure, welcome through that region right now, and then, you know, maybe some rumbles of thunder, etc. with those storms. So for that hail forecast, again, it's going to be quarters and it's going to be very scattered. So if you guys are anywhere between just to the west of Salt Lake City all the way down into Phoenix, you could have a chance to see that severe hail into today through tonight. And then it's mostly going to be wind through that area as well. So now we're kind of moving from southern Idaho all the way down to the U.S. border there. Could see some gusts up to 60 miles an hour, heavy rain, and some rumbles of thunder through that whole region into today and tonight. So for our future temperatures, now talking more into Labor Day, it's going to start heating up here because that ridge is just holding in place. It's really not getting moved around or shifted much by these troughs coming through. So good news for the folks on the West Coast, you should get some impacts from those troughs, so it should keep you relatively cool through the weekend, but it's not going to make it to us in the Central Plains and the Southeast. So for tomorrow afternoon, expecting a lot of 70s and 80s, kind of like we're seeing right now. But then by 5 p.m., those pinks are coming in on the map, and now we're hitting the hundreds in Texas, all the way into, like those 90s are keeping all the way into the North Plains there, and then sitting in the upper 80s through a lot of the Ohio Valley and Southeast. Kind of similar story into tomorrow, or into your Sunday. There we are at noon, 70s and 80s at noon, back into the potentially triple digits across much of the central U.S., and then more of the same on Monday. So here's your Labor Day, now sitting nicer at noon than it will be at 5 p.m. So if you guys are trying to get out and about, trying to go boating or maybe outside to eat for something, earlier in the day is going to be when you're not battling that intense heat, and then around 5 p.m. maybe when you want to, go hit the water a little bit, cool off, because it's going to be in the upper temperature range by the end of the day. So that's kind of what we're dealing with into the next few days through the holiday weekend. And then in terms of rain, you got a little bit to mess with down in the southeast and out in the southwest for your Saturday through your Monday. So it's pretty much going to stay the same through the whole timeline there. Southeast and the southwest are kind of both getting hit by rain each day, and everybody else is staying hot and dry. So, that's good news, bad news. Rain will help you cool off a little bit, but, then you have to kind of plan your day around those showers. So, and then there's that trough, what that's expected to do over the next few days here. You can see that trough just kind of lingering off to the west, and then it finally starts to move through. Here it is right there. And as it tries to make its way over this ridge, it's going to kind of bounce up and over it. And so not great news in terms of getting much rain or, relief from the heat down in the southern plains. A lot of that disturbance is going to stay up to the north and keep storms as well as cooler weather up that way. So here's your 6 to 10 day outlook, September 6th through the 10th. Pretty much the majority of the nation is going to be seeing a chance of being hotter than they are usually this year, particularly for the southern plains into New Mexico, parts of Colorado. You guys have a very good chance of being hotter than average into next week. But again, it's still a solid chance for pretty much anywhere from New England all the way into the almost Pacific coast, and then you guys are near normal. So I plan on a hot one into next week. And then for rainfall, staying dry down in the desert southwest. It's called desert southwest for a reason. And then, up into the North Plains where we're seeing those troughs swing through, as well as the Northeast, you got a better chance to see some rain into the 6th through the 10th. So now, just going to leave you guys with the 5-cast for OKC, DFW, and Denver. Starting out in OKC, probably going to be hitting the upper 90s, maybe 100s for the next 5 days. But lows, fortunately is, I guess, relative here, but they're going to be in the 60s and 70s for the next few days. So it should provide us some overnight relief from the heat. Maybe those ACs will have a chance to turn off during the overnight hours. But then Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be pretty hot into the overnight. So not great there. Sunny and no real chances of rain for the next little while. Same for you guys in DFW, but add a little bit more heat to that. Going to be in the 90s and then potentially hundreds by the middle of next week. You do have maybe a chance for some very scattered showers on your Sunday, but those will be few and far between. And again, it's just going to be hot. Through Denver, now we have better chances to see some rain, and it will be a little cooler than OKC and DFW, but for Denver, it's still hot for what you guys are probably used to. So going to be sitting in the upper 90s for the first part of this weekend, and then by Sunday, it should start to cool off a little bit for you. Maybe a nicer Labor Day with highs in the low 90s, but you will have some potential showers to work with here and there. And then into your Tuesday, cooling down into the 80s. So that's all I have for you guys into today through your Labor Day. I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. If you guys want to follow us, you can get us on any of those websites there, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I think we're on Threads too. We're at Hail Trace on everything. So easy to find us. And then if you guys want to get in contact with us, the QR code right there gives us a little demo to our products if you guys want any mapping products across the nation, or if you want more info on what we do, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245, email us at info@hailtrace.com, or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And again, have a lovely long weekend, enjoy the sunshine, and get out with your friends and family, and we'll be back on Tuesday to let you guys know what's going on into next week with all your severe weather. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.